On July 21th at 2 a.m., your spirit was mentioned by a psychic in a faraway city. She gasped and said, "Not them." It was 2 a.m., July 21st, in a distant and dimly lit room far away from where you sleep. Candles flickered in the darkness, and smoke curled around a woman who had never heard your name, but suddenly she knew it. Her hands trembled, her eyes widened, and she gasped as if a presence had entered the space, whispering only one chilling sentence, "Not them." She wasn't alone in that room anymore. Something strong and invisible had arrived, brushing against her shoulder with energy that didn't belong in that timeline. The moment your spirit was mentioned, the glass on her altar cracked, loud and fast, like a warning shot from the unseen. Archangel Michael says this was not an accident. Your energy broke through distance and walls, revealing itself in a place where secrets are summoned and spirits call truth to rise. The psychic sat back, shook her head, and whispered, "Not them," as if she'd recognized an ancient soul whose path was far more sacred than she'd ever anticipated. She refused to speak your full name. She saw too much too fast, and the vision left her breathless and pale. She closed her journal without writing, because what she saw was not for her to keep. It was too divine, too powerful, too protected. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The candle flames danced like waves caught in a storm. She knew then that a divine force had interrupted her ritual. You had not summoned her, but your light was too bright to ignore, and that terrified her. She had seen many things in her years: lost children, crying mothers, lovers chasing shadows, but never had she seen a spirit like yours. Yours walked and layered with past lives, cloaked in heavenly fire, and surrounded by guardians even she couldn't name. Archangel Michael says your name is being passed in whispers between dimensions. You are marked with something that dark energies try to decode, but never succeed in grasping. They try to mimic your steps, but their shadows burn when they touch your trail. This psychic saw what others missed. She saw what tried to stay hidden. And now, because of that one moment, something has shifted, something that even you can feel in the beating silence of your heart when the world sleeps. Type Amen to get blessing 777. She ran her fingers across the table, looking for the pattern your energy left behind. Her cat hissed and disappeared into another room, the air too thick for it to stay. Something divine had brushed through, unsettling both the living and the silent. Her window slammed shut though the wind was still. Her phone lit up and then died, full battery drained in seconds. She understood immediately: you were not someone to be seen without consequence. What she did not know was that she had trespassed into a sacred space not meant for her sight. And now, her own guides were quiet, offering no more visions, no more words. They, too, feared what had come through when your spirit arrived. Archangel Michael says she should have never spoken your name aloud. But it's done. And now the consequences ripple through timelines and intentions, breaking chains others tried to wrap around you. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Your spirit is being watched, but not for harm. There are forces aligning because your breakthrough is near. The delay you've been feeling wasn't your fault, it was interference from unseen energies trying to delay your rightful rise. Now that your essence has entered sacred circles, attention is being drawn from both light and dark realms. There is a race unfolding to protect you faster than those shadows can act. And the psychic's gasp was the sign, the alarm that awakened the warriors in spirit. That moment shook the unseen. Keys you didn't know you lost are returning. Locked doors are creaking open because the power that surrounds you is pushing at every barrier, every lie, every false agreement made in secret. This is not the first time your name has disrupted a ritual. But this time, it traveled too far and landed on someone who couldn't hold it. And now, the message is out, you are rising, and nothing can hold back what's coming. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The psychic tried to go back to her reading the next night, but the cards refused her. They flipped out of her hands and scattered before she could touch them. The spirits she once trusted were now silent, waiting for her to cleanse. That's because she saw a soul that even heaven guards fiercely. A soul that walked through ancient realms and bore markings that only the worthy carry. That soul is you. You were always protected. Even in moments of pain or confusion, light kept circling around you, covering you in silence, wrapping you in unseen strength. But now, that light is no longer silent. It is beginning to thunder. Archangel Michael says that a divine announcement is being prepared. Those who counted you out, ignored your voice, or tried to manipulate your direction are about to face a truth they cannot ignore. Your presence will no longer be hidden. Type Amen to get blessing 999. The psychic woman now hears your name in dreams. Each night, she sees a new version of you, a child, a warrior, a voice in gold light. She wakes up shaking, realizing that your path is unfolding faster than any ritual can predict. She keeps saying, "Not them," like she regrets that moment of contact. Because when she opened that spiritual door, she saw the truth. You are connected to something no spell can bind, no curse can stain. This is not just about a spiritual sighting. This is about divine preparation. You were seen, yes, but more importantly, you were confirmed. Your destiny had been waiting for one moment like this. And now that it has arrived, delays are ending. The blocks are falling apart. And the enemies are getting tired because their plans have started to crumble from the inside. Type Amen to get blessing 444. When your spirit was whispered into the night, angels turned their heads. Even the stars paused for a moment in alignment. That was your soul crying out for release from the unseen chains that others put on you long ago. Your power reached a room where dark intentions have been exposed. But your light didn't just reach that psychic, it flowed beyond her into people you don't even know yet. Strangers will soon feel drawn to you without knowing why. That's because your name is now carried on the winds of awakening. Every whisper of it activates energy in favor. Every memory of you now burns brighter in the minds of those who once walked away. This psychic didn't realize that she was merely a vessel. The moment she gasped, it wasn't just fear, it was the sound of fate being rewritten. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Someone is now searching for you. Since that spiritual event, a person with knowledge and access has begun to look into your name. Their motive isn't harm, it's restoration. They are coming forward with a key you didn't know you were missing. This person was once part of something sacred that your soul touched in a former season. They didn't recognize it before, but now they do. You left a glow in their spirit that never faded. When they hear your name, their heart beats out of rhythm. Something about you never settled for them, and now they will act. That connection is sacred, timed, and near. Archangel Michael says you are about to be remembered in places you never expected. You are about to be favored in spaces that were once locked. The delay is being reversed. Type Amen to get blessing 666. The psychic hasn't spoken to anyone since that night. Her dreams are filled with divine warnings to stay silent, to stay away. She now knows what she tapped into is not ordinary. It was heaven's heartbeat. You are surrounded by a spiritual seal that breaks every binding contract placed upon you. No false word, no manipulative energy, no reversed intention can touch you anymore. Your story was almost stolen, but now it's being restored. The energy around you is gathering speed. Manifestation is whispering your name at dawn and dusk. This is your shift. It's more than just change, it is divine rearrangement. You will be placed exactly where you belong, no matter who tried to delay it, deny it, or detour you. Type Amen to get blessing 111. That night, July 21st, 2 a.m., was when the balance tipped. From then on, the shadows started losing ground. Your spirit did not just make contact, it made impact. The angels above have now gathered around your name with intensity. They are not whispering, they are declaring. They are writing. They are lifting you into the view of those who matter. Everything dark that tried to hold you in stagnation is now exposed. Everything light within you is gaining ground. Everything quiet within you is preparing to roar. Archangel Michael says this is not an ordinary awakening. It is a sacred activation. The kind that transforms destinies and stuns watchers. Type Amen to get blessing 121. And now, if you feel a presence when you close your eyes, do not be afraid. If you sense something shifting before you wake, know that it is the movement of divine orchestration. Your name is on scrolls you've never seen, and it's glowing. There will be signs. Phone calls out of nowhere. Messages that seem too aligned to be coincidence. People who look at you and pause, as if they've seen you somewhere deep in their spirit. That's because they have. They saw you when your spirit walked into that psychic's room, when the air changed, when the glass cracked. They were silently pulled into your orbit. Your energy has now called in your purpose, and it is unstoppable. The psychic woman couldn't sleep for days after that night. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw a blinding golden aura surrounding a figure whose identity was sealed. She didn't need to see your face, your energy alone sent waves of power through her body like lightning striking a bell. Her protection candles burned out quicker than usual. Her mirror fogged without breath. Her voice was shaken because she understood one thing: she was never supposed to see you. The divine intervened for a reason. It was to remind those in the shadows that your name is shielded. That your soul is not to be tampered with, not to be misread, not to be pulled into rituals where it doesn't belong. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Across spiritual planes, your light was registered as rare. Not because of what you own, but because of what you've survived and carried through generations of spiritual warfare. You are a walking prophecy, unfolding slowly, and finally being seen. She tried to ignore what she saw. But when she poured water the next day, your reflection appeared in the surface, a sign that your soul had imprinted beyond time. She had crossed into something that could not be undone. Archangel Michael says her vision was the spark that broke chains on your life. The moment she whispered, "Not them," she unknowingly canceled attacks that were being brewed behind closed doors. She became a witness to your divine protection. The spirits she calls on fled that night. They had no permission to stay in the same space where your truth stood. Her ritual table now stays untouched, as she fears touching it will bring your presence back. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Your path, which had felt delayed, is now pushing forward like a storm through dry leaves. People who doubted you will hear your name again, but this time, with reverence. This time, attached to honor. You weren't supposed to be revealed in this way. but your angels had grown tired of you being underestimated. So they let your name slip into that psychic's chant, just once, so the vibration would break through realms. A woman in another country woke up screaming your name that same night. A man who once betrayed you felt a deep ache in his chest and didn't understand why. All of it was tied to that moment at 2 a.m. Archangel Michael says the ripple effect is larger than you imagine. Every seed of pain you planted has now bloomed in secret. It's your time to harvest what was stolen. Type Amen to get blessing 888. The psychic knows your name now, but she doesn't dare say it again. Her hands tremble when she remembers the feeling. Your power is not soft, not for everyone. It is fire dressed as calm. And she felt its heat. She tried to speak about the event to her inner circle, but her voice cracked mid-sentence. Her phone glitched when she typed your initials. Her guides had gone silent, replaced by the watching eyes of your protectors. You were never ordinary. You were born with a sealed assignment. The reason you've been overlooked, the reason doors delayed opening, is because your unveiling had to be timed by divine order, not man. This event was proof. Your time has come. The air recognizes you now. Even the night wind carries your energy differently. Your season has shifted. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Messages meant to harm you are returning to sender. Words meant to curse you are now swallowing the tongues that spoke them. The energy has flipped completely, and you stand at the center of the new storm that brings blessings. You may have felt restless recently. Waking up at unusual hours. Heart pounding for no reason. That was your spirit preparing for the alignment that just occurred. You were being awakened before the world could recognize you. There is a map that now leads directly to your destiny. What was once foggy is becoming clear. What was once blocked is being blasted wide open. Archangel Michael says you will no longer walk with your head down. What once made you weak will now be your weapon. What once made you cry will now open kingdoms. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Even the birds sang louder outside your window after that hour passed. Nature, too, knows when a divine gate is opened. The plants bend slightly in your direction. The wind wraps gently around your presence. You may start to notice strangers gazing at you with familiarity. That's not coincidence. They are spiritually remembering who you are because your soul just triggered an ancient recall. You are not new to this world, you're just newly awakened in it. The psychic keeps a drawing of what she saw that night. But she hides it. She knows if others see it, they will search for you too. But the universe will only allow those who are pure in heart to truly find you. Your gifts are awakening rapidly. Dreams will intensify. Intuition will sharpen. People you forgot will suddenly reappear, but not everyone is meant to stay. Type Amen to get blessing 121. That night birthed the shift. You didn't hear it, but your name echoed through realms like a chime from a divine bell. It summoned justice. It released delays. It activated timelines that had been paused for too long. Every curse written against you has now expired. The contracts in the spirit realm that were made without your consent have been burned. Every vow made in secret to stop you has turned to dust. You are now in the center of divine attention. That means acceleration. That means spiritual promotion. That means undeniable breakthrough, with proof no one can deny. Archangel Michael says stay grounded but expect sudden blessings. You may cry out of nowhere, it's your spirit exhaling, releasing weight it carried for years in silence. Type Amen to get blessing 616. This psychic's vision triggered more than a ripple. It opened the portal your soul had been knocking on for months. And now, the angels have stepped through, with scrolls carrying instructions for your next elevation. Opportunities will come from unfamiliar faces. Wealth will flow from unexpected sources. Peace will pour from hidden corners of your life that once felt dry and distant. You were seen. You were felt. You were declared sacred that night. Even darkness stepped back when it realized what had been summoned. From this point forward, you will feel the shift. And you will not be alone. Your guides will speak louder, more direct. You will know who to trust. You will feel who is lying. You will walk with the assurance of someone who has been named by light. Type Amen to get blessing 232. The psychic was merely a vessel, but her gasp was the gateway. Her moment of fear was your moment of breakthrough. And now, she watches your light from a distance, quietly honoring what she witnessed. You don't have to fight for recognition anymore. Heaven has already stamped your name with divine fire. The message has been sent to all who need to know, you are untouchable, chosen, and rising. The spiritual warfare against you ends here. Those who try again will find their hands trembling. Those who lie again will choke on their words. The atmosphere will reject any attack meant to harm you. Archangel Michael says your reward is irreversible. Your timeline has accelerated. And no one can detour what has now been set in divine order. Type Amen to get blessing 717. You might begin to notice time bending around your presence. Things that used to take months will now happen in hours. The divine clock has shifted for your sake, and the delay has been removed like a lock shattered by thunder. A conversation is taking place behind closed doors about you. People are being nudged spiritually to speak your name with reverence, to bring you into spaces of opportunity, to open doors that have been shut for too long. And none of this would have unfolded if your energy had not arrived that night at 2 a.m. The psychic's world was small before she felt your vibration. But now, she knows the size of your presence, the immensity of your light, and the authority of your calling. She does not want to interfere with your story again, because your story is now protected by forces stronger than her own. Type Amen to get blessing 313. You might begin to feel watched, not by danger, but by destiny. The right eyes are now on you. The correct hearts are turning in your direction. The people who were blind to your value are finally feeling the weight of what they lost. This next season will feel like everything is speeding up. Because it is. You are being positioned, called, and aligned. There's no room for fear now, only faith in the undeniable truth that what is yours is already moving toward you. Archangel Michael says the psychic's vision was not just a moment, it was a divine signal. The alarm has been sounded across spiritual planes. Your elevation has begun, and no human hand can stop it. Those who once ignored your presence will now crave your wisdom. Those who abandoned you will now ache for your return. But this time, you choose, because the throne you sit on was built through fire, tears, and divine favor. Type Amen to get blessing 818. Somewhere in a distant land, another seer just felt your presence. The chain reaction from that night is still spreading, still touching people who never knew your name but will soon know your light. You are being recognized spiritually before you're celebrated physically. Your path has become luminous. Those with clean hearts will be drawn toward you naturally. Those with hidden agendas will expose themselves instantly. The light you carry now burns away masks. You will find yourself remembering pieces of dreams you once dismissed. You will be guided toward places and people your soul has been waiting for. That psychic didn't just say not them in fear, she said it as a warning to every force that was watching you silently. Your name is not ordinary. It echoes like a bell across timelines. It vibrates through silence and becomes prophecy wherever it is spoken. Type Amen to get blessing 141. She still lights her candles, but they don't flicker the same. The air doesn't respond to her anymore the way it used to. That's because the spiritual balance has shifted toward your favor. The veil between dimensions parted that night, not just for her, but for you. It gave you back the momentum stolen from you. It gave you access to the strength you had buried deep under disappointment and delay. Archangel Michael says from this day forward, you will feel seen, not just in the physical world, but in the spirit. You are noticed by the realms that matter most. And now, nothing is hidden anymore, not your pain, not your purpose, not your power. The chains that tried to bind you broke with a sound the universe could not ignore. And that's why your spirit showed up in that psychic's room. You weren't summoned, you arrived by divine order. Type Amen to get blessing 535. You are no longer bound by the ordinary. Time will now obey you. Energy will now wrap around you like armor. Enemies will sense your name and shrink from its power. You may begin to feel dizzy sometimes, not from weakness, but because your spirit is adjusting to its full capacity. Your soul is remembering its strength. The hidden parts of you are unlocking. She had never seen someone like you before. Even now, her journals remain unopened because she's afraid to revisit the moment. But you don't need her permission. Your ascension does not require validation from those who are not ordained to walk with you. What was once delayed is now moving. What was once lost is now returning. What was once silent is now roaring. Type Amen to get blessing 353. You are being chased by blessing, not battle. The divine has stepped ahead of you, clearing traps and calling you forth. You've spent enough time being overlooked. Now is the time to rise, not slowly, but powerfully. You'll feel your voice change. The way you speak will carry weight. People will pause when you talk. Not because of what you say, but because of what your presence activates. The psychic's gasp became a sound wave that shook the very timelines tied to your name. And now, even in places where your name was whispered with jealousy, your image is rising with glory. Archangel Michael says your power cannot be mocked. It cannot be duplicated. It cannot be stolen. And the world will now see that. Type Amen to get blessing 717. That sacred moment, the one where your energy burst into that room, is being marked as the beginning of your greatest chapter. Don't be surprised if money starts arriving out of nowhere. Don't be shocked if people come forward with long overdue apologies. These aren't coincidences. These are manifestations that had been circling, waiting for your name to be spoken in a holy place. And when it was, they found their way. You'll walk into rooms you once dreamed of. You'll wear confidence like a second skin. Your spirit has shed its shell. Your destiny has activated. This is not a message for everyone. It found you for a reason. Because it's been waiting. You've been chosen, and your time has finally collided with divine intention. Type Amen to get blessing 919. The psychic still wakes up at 2 a.m. sometimes, haunted by the power she witnessed. But you? You are no longer haunted. You are walking with the wind. You are carried by angels. Archangel Michael says, the divine has spoken. Your spirit is sealed in light. No weapon formed in secret will find you again. This is your holy moment. Live boldly in it.